Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Twist of Fate, Prachi asked Aaliyah to apologize to Rahul and his friends after what she did to them after she was exposed anyway, and Ranbir kisses Prachi to save her life, and that was the last update. Let's continue. Ranbir tells Prachi that he has no feelings for her. Ranbir asks Prachi to marry Siddharth and start a family with him and be happy. I don't want to tie you with me. And he asks her to settle down in London after marriage with Siddharth and says, I don't want to see your betrayal memories here and I just want to keep your love memory. Prachi feels like getting slapped with Ranbir's words. Ranbir sits in the car and he leaves. Ranbir recalls Siddharth saying that Prachi's baby is his baby. He shouted Prachi and he drinks wine. He then throws the bottle out of the car and he drives fast. Later, Ranbir meets with an accident and he got down from his car. He sits on the ground and he thinks that I cannot think anything without you. Then how will I live? And if I don't live, then how will I die? Ranbir says my identity is due to Prachi. If you are not with me, then I am nothing. He cries. Siddharth comes to Prachi's room and calls her. Prachi asks, what are you doing here? And says, I don't want to see your face. Siddharth says you are good and you want everyone's betterment, even the ones who did bad with you. You gave a chance to Rahul and Priya, then why can't you give me a chance? Prachi says to Siddharth that enough and says I hate you and I would always hate you. You have broken my trust. Prachi says how did you think? And says that we have illegitimate relationship. Prachi says even if you drink Amrit in front of me, then also you are lowered in front of my eyes. Prachi says to Siddharth that I kept a place in my heart for you as my brother and I saw you with that eyes and you have taken care of me like your sister when Ranbir and I got separated. Prachi says you called my relationship with Ranbir as illegitimate and she asked him to tell her why. Prachi asked Siddharth to tell her if they both have any illegitimate relationship, for Siddharth to lie to everyone that he is the father of her baby when that is not the truth. Siddharth says I cannot tell you why I did that. He says you don't know what was going on in my life and mind. Prachi says to Siddharth that I never imagined that you could be so wrong and says you are so wrong. Aaliyah is standing and hearing their conversation. Aaliyah says I. Siddharth gets scared and he runs out. Prachi asks Siddharth where is he running away to. Aaliyah comes there and says she came at the wrong timing and says two lovers were arguing. Prachi closes the door on Aaliyah's face. Rhea knocks on the door. Prachi says I don't want to talk. Rhea says I want to talk to you and I brought a lovely sari for you. You are going to look stunning for your engagement. Rhea says to Prachi that tonight is going to be difficult for her and she asks her to keep the sari and says all the best. Prachi goes behind Rhea and calls her. Rhea recalls Aaliyah's plan. Prachi asks Rhea, why did you bring the engagement cloth for me? Rhea says to Prachi that I am your sister and I am happy for your happiness and you are getting upset. Prachi says I know why you are happy. Rhea says tell me sometimes that I am a good sister at least for once. Prachi says to Rhea that you are not a good sister and you are not honest too. Rhea says do you have an idea about what loyalty and honesty means? Prachi says I have answered you looking into your eyes. Rhea says when I was marrying Ranbir, you snatched him from me and then when I married Siddharth, you became pregnant with his child. Prachi asks Rhea what nonsense. Shahana comes there and says nonsense people would always say nonsense. Rhea says Prachi loves Ranbir but she would marry Siddharth because she cannot have them both. Rhea says to Prachi that if you want this family's happiness, then marry Siddharth, and if you want to be selfish and think about yourself only, then stay with Ranbir. She says you cannot do this as you do some things and say something else. She says you are enemy of the house and you want to trouble everyone and says you are Ranbir's bad luck. Shahana asks Rhea that who are you to decide for Prachi? Rhea asks, did I ask you to talk? Shahana says one thing is sure, that you cannot be happy and you cannot give happiness to anyone, and she asks her to go to the mountain. Shahana says that she has sympathy for Rhea because she is Pragya's daughter. Rhea says and you are stuck with this family as a friend. Prachi asks them to be quiet and Prachi tells Rhea that she has no feelings for Ranbir. Rhea says you have accepted it but nobody will believe you and she asks her to prove it that you don't love Ranbir and you just want the house happiness. Prachi falls into Rhea's provocative words and says that she will prove that she has no feelings for Ranbir and just add prayers for this house. She says, I will get engaged to Siddharth to prove this, and says, if you think that I have some feelings, then today is the last day. She goes. Rhea holds Shahana's hand. Shahana asks her not to hold her hand. Rhea says, I will not agree to your sayings. Shahana says, you are a witch. Rhea says, yes, I am a dangerous witch. Prachi goes out and thinks of Rhea's provocative words. She thinks that I want to make everything fine, but everything is ruining and slipping away from her hands. She says, I came to take revenge from Ranbir, but Ranbir was changed and he told me that he would go to some places and he would have our own world, but I was foolish to ignore him and I couldn't understand that they both love each other. Prachi says to herself that now Ranbir is saying that he doesn't love her anymore and he wants her to marry someone else. She says, how can he say this? And she cries. She thinks of Rhea's words and then Ranbir's words. Ranbir stops the car. Prachi keeps her hand on her face. Siddharth looks at them from the window. Ranbir comes to Prachi. Prachi says, you are drunk again. Ranbir says he got drunk happily. Prachi says, stay away from me. Ranbir asks why. Prachi says, if you stay, then your wine will talk and not you, and that is why I don't want to talk to you. Ranbir feels pain and he calls Prachi. Prachi gets worried and asks what happened. Siddharth looks at them from the window and he cries, thinking that they love and care about each other a lot and I have come between them. Ranbir asks Prachi to go and he asks her, why did you care for my pain? Prachi asks Ranbir to say 3 words of apology and asks what happened to him. Ranbir says he got the injury while driving. Prachi gets the first aid box from Ranbir's car and she applies ointment on his hand. A song plays in the background. Prachi applies the ointment on Ranbir's hand. Ranbir looks at Prachi. Ranbir and Prachi are outside as she blows his wound. Ranbir started staring at Prachi while Prachi picks the first aid box to see a broken star. She advised Ranbir to wish for anything that he desires. Siddharth is also praying after seeing the shooting star. Ranbir says that he doesn't know if his wish will be fulfilled, but he wants the old times to come back where he was happy with Prachi. Prachi also prays that the time should return where they had no misunderstandings between them both. Siddharth in the room also prays that the love which exists between both Prachi and Ranbir should cover them so that they would always stay together. Prachi informs Ranbir that tomorrow is her engagement with Siddharth and Ranbir feels bad. Ranbir takes the support of the car to stand up and Prachi asks if he felt bad. Ranbir replies that he is not feeling bad because Prachi is happy. Ranbir, after seeing Prachi, feels that Prachi wants to do it and he thinks that Prachi is not bothered by it because what else is in her heart for him. Prachi started walking away and Ranbir also tries to follow her, but Prachi stopped and Ranbir once again turns away. Prachi turns back looking at Ranbir wiping off his tears and Prachi seeing Ranbir also turns away with tears in her eyes. The soul of both Ranbir and Prachi want to be with each other and they rush to hug, but their consciousness is not able to make them do it, even when they both love each other. Ranbir and Prachi finally turn and rush to walk towards each other, but Ranbir suddenly started taking a step backward, forcing Prachi to also turn away, and after controlling her senses, Prachi walks away. Ranbir is also not able to say anything and he feels worried. Rhea entering Aliya's room asks her to wake up, and Rhea insists that Aliya must first wake up, and Aliya replies that she was just resting. Rhea explains that the time of Prachi has ended forever. Aliya is amazed, asking if Prachi has left the house and did she take her belongings with her, inquiring if even Shahana has left. Rhea requests Aliya to listen to her first, informing her that Prachi said that she cares for the family, and for the happiness of this family, she agreed to marry Siddharth. Aliya explains that this also means that Prachi is going to leave this house because after her marriage with Siddharth, then she will be forced to leave. Rhea explains to Aliya that this is going to be her last fight with Prachi since she wants to wait for Prachi's farewell and she cannot wait to see how Siddharth and Prachi will leave this house forever. Aliya also agrees, saying that she cannot wait. Prachi, walking in the hall, is recalling what Ranbir said to her, as Ranbir mentioned that he is happy that Prachi is getting married, since Prachi doesn't have anything in her heart for him. Ranbir is also following Prachi, and Prachi turns back to see Ranbir standing there. Prachi recalls how Ranbir asks her to marry Siddharth and start a happy family. Ranbir slowly walks towards Prachi, and he opens the door of the room. Ranbir, coming back, asks that why is Prachi's eye so numb. Prachi asks that why does Ranbir care. Ranbir replies that why is Prachi so rude when he is talking politely with her. Prachi tells Ranbir that the tears in her eyes are a lot better than his love. Prachi rushes into her room and Ranbir says that Prachi must get up on time tomorrow as he will not come to wake her up. In the morning, Prachi comes out to see the decorations in the house. Shahana comes in and asks if Prachi would like to have tea, while Ranbir comes there with the tea in his hand. Ranbir explains that Priya made the tea as she had a lot of work which he had given to her, and he even asked her to bring some bangles for Prachi. Meanwhile, he asks Aryan to help him. Aryan comes to Ranbir and asks why Ranbir sent him to bring the flower as it doesn't suit his personality, even when he knows that brothers can do a lot for their sisters, but it is not right. Aryan asks that why has Ranbir decorated the entire house. Ranbir says that he decorated the house because he is happy, as today is the engagement of Prachi. Siddharth comes to stand beside him. Ranbir explains that he has done all this work, but Siddharth should also do some work. Ranbir gives Siddharth tea and he asks him to go and give everyone the tea, saying that everyone will work in this house except Prachi. Ranbir comments on Prachi, explaining that she is looking really beautiful. Aryan turns back with the flowers, but Shahana pulls him to the corner. Aryan tells Shahana that he is scared with her aunt because whenever she touches him, then he feels that something bad is about to happen. Shahana asks Aryan that how can he talk like this about their friendship. Aryan replies that Shahana must not complain if he says anything because he might start liking her. Shahana replies that this cannot happen as she would never see him with that way. She explains that Ranbir trusts him a lot, so he should be there for Ranbir. Aryan tells Shahana that he also trusts her, so Shahana must also talk with Ranbir rather than decorating the house, as Ranbir needs someone to share his feelings with, so his mind can be cleared. Aryan explains that he should also talk with Ranbir that he only lost Prachi. So does Shahana not think that Ranbir should stop being so foolish as he has become an egoistic person? Shahana asks Aryan why he is not going to talk with Ranbir. Aryan, coming to Shahana, explains that she should also ask Prachi. Shahana replies that Prachi will not listen to her. Aryan replies that they both will stop when they feel like and they will not listen to them. Shahana gets angry and she tries to eat Aryan, but he stops her, explaining that she sometimes tries to eat him while at the other times pulling him closer. Aryan leaves while Shahana is not able to control herself. Prachi comes out while Siddharth is giving tea. Ranbir stops Siddharth, asking if Siddharth will feel bad if he helps Prachi get ready for the engagement, and Siddharth asks that why would he feel bad. Ranbir replies that because he is getting married to Prachi. Ranbir assures Siddharth that it is nothing important because now this is the right of Siddharth. Prachi asks that why did Ranbir say this. Ranbir replies that this means that Prachi was listening to their conversation, and Prachi asks that why did Ranbir dare wants to help her. Ranbir says that if he was not laughing, then it doesn't mean that he was serious because this was just a joke. Ranbir asks if Prachi was stressed, and Prachi replies that she cannot understand how Ranbir can say anything like this. Ranbir replies that he might be saying this because he wants this or so. Prachi says that Ranbir might want this wedding to stop. Ranbir doesn't agree or disagree with it, but he turns back to start decorating the house once again. Prachi also walks away thinking that she would get married to Siddharth if that is what Ranbir wants. Prachi looks back and she is really worried as Ranbir keeps staring at her. Ranbir in frustration crushes the flower in his hand and he feels very helpless. Okay guys, thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, share it, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Thank you.